Hey guys, Gabriel from Ungraceful Toad here, and today I have another figure for you. This time it's a MegaHouse figure. As you may know, MegaHouse is currently probably tied with Banpresto for my favourite figure company of all time. So this is the Hinata from the Naruto Girls line, which was released in February 2017, and I believe it was the first one in the line, which now currently contains 3 figures. As of me recording this video, Sakura is just sort of finishing her pre-order date. If not, she's already come out. So that's pretty much it for background information. There is no confirmed scale as far as I know, but I would go out on a limb and say she's around 1/6, 1/8 scale, sort of somewhere in between. I don't think she's quite 1/8. And unfortunately I was on autopilot when I started this video, and I started opening them up, hence why she has no plastic protective covering inside. I've recorded 4 videos today, so I'm kind of getting into it a bit too much, so apologies for that, but everything else in the box is fine. So what we have here, we have a nice picture of the figure with the MegaHouse logo, you know, Hyuga Naruto, Naruto Girls, and the Naruto Shippuden logo, nothing too special. One thing I want to note is this figure, like the box, is very on Naruto to me. It's quite a strange sort of, I'd say, out of character box. I'm used to the Naruto figures sort of coming in plain orange, not plain orange, plain green boxes. This one's a bit out there. Of course, we've got our authentication sticker. This is the side. Again, we have a nice sort of filtered picture. This pattern continues with this nice big window. On the back we have some more sort of Naruto girls and some pictures. It's quite a nicely put together display, that. And on the other side it's very similar, but we have a picture of the figure itself in a slightly different zoomed in photo. And then up top we have this nice big window with Hyuga Hinata and Naruto girls. And then there's actually something on the bottom. There's a picture again and the same text, so a lot of rehashing, but yeah, again, this box is very different, I find, to what we're expecting from Naruto figures. So let's open it up and take a closer look. So here we have it in the sort of relaxed, sort of jumping along kind of pose. Something that MegaHouse loves to do is this sort of suspended skipping thing. They do it with quite a lot of their figures, have it sort of in motion and use pegs and stands to make it look like they're in movement. So our Hinata here is sort of mid-teenage years, hence Naruto Shippuden being the figure. Again, let's take a quick look at that stamp on the base. So the first thing that draws my mind in is the face. So typical in that, we have the blushing, expecting the big Byakugan eyes. Unfortunately, of course, it's a sticker as expected from a cheaper PVC figure, but the mouth and such is painted in, and it's quite a good expression. I think it captures Hinata quite well without going overboard. I find that my problem with especially the new Hinata figure is it's a bit too flirtatious. I like this girls line because it sort of walks the line of it doesn't go overboard in its flirtatious sort of ecchi nature, which is not something I am personally a fan of in my figures. So on the head we also have this good shading here of the line, which is, you know, sort of very anime style in itself. And as we look down we have her headband, which is solid on there, it doesn't move. Her netting, we're all moving down onto her hoodie, and then the sculpt of that, which is, I think, really well done with the way the lines flow. There's a lot of the movement itself is captured within her clothing. And then as we take a further look down, we have this little baggage where I assume she'd keep her kunai tied to her leg. And then more movement here, sculpted in. It's all sculpted very well, and there's some nice sort of subtle shading, which when you take it in as a whole is very good. We have these sort of pastel-y colours, which I think is sort of the theme of this line. We have nice sort of soft colours to it, which of course going with the girls line of Naruto, which is something that isn't covered a lot. There aren't a lot of side characters figures for Naruto, which were one of my big problems with it. So to have this sort of girls line it's really nice to have it. It brings some nice contrast and some nice quality to your displays. So again, toes sculpted really nice, and something we don't usually see in figures is, although we usually see sculpted nails, we don't usually see colour to them. As you can see, we have some pink colour here. And again, usually the feet is where we see some run of colour, but everything here painted really nicely. No run of colour whatsoever anywhere so far from what I've seen. So taking a look from the back, we can see how the hair flows. We've got it sort of in different segments, and that all looks really nice. And the camera seems to be struggling to pick up, but there is some blue shading within the black of the hair, which is of course how true black hair shows up. in the light it doesn't turn brown. So again, sort of her hands behind her, this is sort of a nervous pose thing, isn't it? You can see sort of a lot of her character coming out thanks to her pose. But again, it's just captured really nice, and you'll see once again we've got pink fingernails, which is just, it's very Hinata. There are a lot of nice touches here which show you that they've sort of thought about the character as a whole when putting it together. And again, shading continues, really nice and soft and subtle, especially on these white bits of her hoodie, on the side of her pants and stuff. All done really nice. So as an overall effect, I think the sculpt's done very well, and the paint is all incredibly clean. And I think it captures Hinata's sort of appearance very well, unlike the newer Hinata figure, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I don't think it really gives her a true sort of a sense of who Hinata is as a person. My only slight complaint that I do have to mention is there is a mould line here at the top of her head, which I assume is where they've sort of pushed two halves together, and from the display angle that you'll be looking at, you won't be able to tell, but that line is very pronounced over the top of her head. So also take another look at the base. What you can just about see there is the Leaf logo engraved there with our Naruto sticker. So let's do some size comparisons and give you some true measurements, and we can work out just exactly what scale this figure is. So height going from the bottom of the base is just over 8 inches, pushing 8.5, which is 21 centimeters tall. Her width is pretty much from edge of base to edge of base. Her hand this hand here just about goes over, which makes her about 4 inches wide, which is about just shy of 10 centimeters, give or take. And because of her pose, she does depth-wise slightly go over the edge of the base again with this hand, which gives her a depth of about, again, 10 centimeters. Maybe pushing 10.5 centimeters. Here she is on the dirt shelf by herself. Here she is next to 1/8 Jotaro Kujo, which gives you more of an idea that she probably is in the 1/6 scale. Here she is next to 1/6 Jotaro Kujo. Finally, here she is next to 6 Bath Naruto, which almost definitely confirms it to me that this is meant to be around the 1/6 scale. So I don't really have any complaints about this figure whatsoever. I love the soft colour of it with the subtle shading and the way they've really captured Hinata's facial expression and sort of the way she'd carry herself. The detail in the meshing and the cleanness of all the paint, especially within the logo of the Leaf Village, and the way they've captured the movement with the base and the way her legs are positioned, everything about it I think it's done really well. My only slight gripe being this mould line up at the top of her head, but since you can't see it when it's displayed, I'm not too arsed about it. And the only other thing, which isn't the figure's fault at all, it's not really a problem with the figures. The figure's a real pain in the ass to find a legit one at a decent price, and there's so many fakes you can't really risk buying them from the secondary market at all. You have to find someone you know you can trust to get them, and of course look out for that official sticker. So all in all, I can't wait to get the rest of the Naruto Girls line and have them all on display, because this one, if it's anything to go on, is really great, and I can't recommend it enough. I feel like most of us Naruto collectors can do with some more side characters, and adding a couple more females to your collection of your Naruto shelves definitely isn't a bad thing. So I'm a big fan of this figure for sure. Hinata's a great character, and you know, when you look at it and there's a sort of things such as the way the mesh is done, the way she carries herself, even the pink fingernail and toenail gloss, it's just all these little factors that have obviously been thought about the character and put together really well to make a great package. So definitely a thumbs up for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.